Recently, I've been on a bit of a hiatus. A burnout, if you will. After the Oscars and everything, I kind of just slowed down, and to be completely honest, I haven't been watching that many movies. I was doing something for another video that I wanted to come out in the future, and this past week I finally decided I need to catch up on a lot of these 2025 releases. I watched The Luckiest Man in America, The Ballad of Wallace Island, The Surfer, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, all pretty good movies that I thoroughly found some enjoyment from. I'm not talking about any of those today. There's a film I saw in the cinema on Monday which has had my brain rattled. It's not good by any means. Put it quite bluntly, it's one of the worst movies I've seen all year, and possibly one of the worst movies I've seen this decade. And of course, that's the new film written, starring, and for some reason not directed by The Weeknd. This is Hurry Up Tomorrow. Now, I really just want to jump into this as soon as possible because I have so much to say about how much I really dislike this experience. But before that, let me just provide some small little bits of background and context. The film was directed by Trey Edward Schultz, the director of Waves. Waves came out in a very strange time in my life where everything was kind of weird, and this was kind of the movie I needed at that exact moment. I adore it, I hold it very close to my heart. So to see that he was attached to this project with The Weeknd, I was kind of dumbfounded, especially coming off the release of The Weeknd's past TV show with Sam Levinson, The Idol. Now, I've only seen the first episode of The Idol, but I can confidently say that it is so pointless and cringy and tries so hard to be edgy when in reality it has nothing to say that hasn't been said before, or has nothing to say in the fact that it doesn't know what it's trying to do.
Fucking drag you down, Rodeo, while your fucking ass just fucking stomp you. I'll fucking curb stomp you. I'm sorry. I'll fucking curb stomp you.
To be honest, you could apply those same compliments to Hurry Up Tomorrow. The film was written together with Schultz, The Weeknd, and Reza Fahim, someone who only has a writing credit and producing credit on this film. The film tells the story of The Weeknd playing himself, who is rattled with this insomnia and is pulled into a weird story of a stranger who begins to unravel the very core of his existence. The stranger being played by Jenna Ortega. That's right, this film has real actors in it. Barry Keoghan's also there for some reason, playing The Weeknd's closest friend Lee, and Riley Keough kind of has like a cameo, I guess. She never really has any actual scenes, but she is there for some time playing The Weeknd's ex-girlfriend. Not to already rehash myself, but this shares many of the same qualities of The Idol. Sure, it lacks any of those over-the-top sexual connotations and dialogue, which, I mean, sure, they weren't missed, but it still has a lot of these boring scenes, boring story, cringeworthy moments, cringeworthy performances, and something that I feel The Idol doesn't actually have. Some incredibly pretentious pieces of dialogue within scenes, specifically near the end, but I'll get there. The whole film is kind of a back and forth with Abel. I feel like The Weeknd came up with the entire story and more or less did some of the screenwriting, but put a lot of it onto Trey Edward Schultz because he's obviously not a very experienced screenwriter, just being like, hey, make this sound cool and proper. A lot of the film is more or less a back and forth with Abel, just questioning the morals of, is he truly a good enough person to deserve all this fame? And then him instantly going, well, no, actually, I'm kind of a god and I make really good music. And I will compliment that. The music in the film is obviously great. I've been a fan of The Weeknd for quite a long time. During COVID, After Hours was played on repeat, and although the two albums that followed it, Dawn FM and Hurry Up Tomorrow, the album that's apparently meant to go with this film, although it's hardly ever mentioned, if I don't think it is mentioned. I don't think they live up too much with After Hours, but I still think they have some great moments on there, especially when he's not using AI making songs of Playboi Carti. That's really cringe, bro. A lot of this movie is typically just a self-reflection on The Weeknd as a character, but then you have to sit there and go, well, if it's self-reflection as a character, this is more or less just self-reflection on himself, which then makes me raise the question, why not just go to therapy and get these answers yourself? What's the need to subject myself as an audience member and many other people that go and see this movie to your over-the-top pretentious bullshit? And although I say other audience members, it's not like many people are going to see this or are seeing this. My cinema had maybe less than 10 people in it, but yeah, the self-reflection really goes nowhere and has the substance about as deep as a puddle. That's a great thing to start off with. Going further into this, I think they kind of realized that none of what they were saying actually resolved itself to be deep or relatable or is going to resonate with any of the audience at all. Upon realizing that, they lather the film with all of these crazy psychedelic shots, the type of stuff you'd see in a Gaspar Noé film, except the issue is that there's nothing to build onto them. They're just kind of there. They add nothing to the film. If anything, they just take up time. If you strip out all of the pointless stuff that adds nothing and doesn't go anywhere, the film would would probably only be about 50 minutes long, and I probably wouldn't be complaining as much as I am right now, because at least it would be short and sweet. All of these shots are trying to sit there and trick you into thinking this is a real art house film that you'd see in a film house or a picture house. If you're really watching this and you're not blindsided by an echo chamber of Weeknd fans that are trying to persuade you that it is actually really deep, then the effect doesn't work on you at all, and you can kind of clock on that there is nothing to this. Which leads us onto the performances. Now, this is the one time where I'm actually going to defend the Weeknd in this video. Obviously, people have been taking videos of the film and posting clips on Twitter, and everyone's been pointing and laughing at the Weeknd. Oh, he's a bad actor. The same thing happened with The Idol. And yes, I agree. He's not the greatest actor in the world. But a lot of these people are kind of just judging this film off of a 20-second clip on Twitter. Yeah, I'm not saying the movie's good. If anything, it's probably worse than you think it is. But to sit there and watch like a 2-second clip on Twitter and go, yeah, this must be the worst thing in the world, let's all just bandwagon hate on it, it's just kind of pointless. At least see the art, and I know it's very bold to call it art, but I will sit there and just say, sure, for the sake of the argument, it's art. To sit there and make fun of this art without actually engaging in it, it's the reason why stuff like media literacy and film criticism is just such a dying breed, because people are so stupid that they can't just sit and actually engage with the art they're talking about. I'm not also, for the sake of the argument, not recommending you see this, but it does kind of irritate me a bit. The same thing happened with Emilia Perez, and I guarantee half the people that were jumping on that bandwagon hadn't even watched more than 10 minutes of the film. Continuing with the performances, I have to say I'm not a crazy big fan of Barry Keoghan or Jenna Ortega, although I will say that one of them clearly makes better choices with the films that they're in, that being Barry Keoghan. He's done some great stuff in the past. I love stuff like Banshees of Inisherin, that weird heist one I don't seem to remember the name of. Look at the movies he's done in the past few months, at least they're kind of cool and interesting. Jenna Ortega though, girl, fire your goddamn agent. She's been on a crazy bad streak recently. Scream and X, sure, she's alright in them. She's a good scream queen, I think. When you think about her performances in Beetlejuice, Death of a Unicorn, Miller's Girl, and this, she doesn't really provide anything like outstanding. I think she's fine, but quite frankly, my best advice would be get a new agent, or I don't know, read the scripts before you sign on, because this has not been a great year for her. To end off, I guess the big thing to say is advice to musicians: just because you think you can act and no one's going to tell you that you shouldn't doesn't mean you 100% should. With people like Madonna jumping into acting, or Tyler, the Creator, who I'm an incredibly large fan of, is meant to be in Marty Supreme this year. I don't know how that's going to work out. Just because you have the star power to do this sort of stuff doesn't mean that you should just think that you are good enough to jump into any other art form. Maybe train a little bit, do smaller roles, just to see if you actually fit into the area. It's like Charlie XCX, look at her now. Her only real acting role right now is playing herself, and it's not really made her stand out, but at least she's building to a level. I don't know, maybe I'm just getting off topic.
You think I want to play and clap in a college? Are you joking?
She has more projects lined up, I'm sure she'll do well. My word of advice, go and see literally anything else this week. This was more or less just a ramble. I will get back into releasing regular content now that I have more free time to do so again, and hopefully next time you hear me, I'll be talking about a good movie. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.